Good evening, everybody. Oh, I got something else running in my ear. Stop. I can't hear you, Shannon. I can't hear you. Shannon's having tech gremlins. Welcome to the Roxy Pals, everybody. The gremlins have already started early today. Hang on, Shannon. Let me. Hola. Hey, Big E. I see you in the room, sweetheart. Give me a second. Let me see if I can do anything to alter her sound.
You hear
There
me?
we go. And we have Shannon. Hello, Governor. Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Hope everyone's doing all right tonight. It has been a day and 3/4 around here. Don't even make that face, Shannon. Now my camera won't work. I can't cut my camera on. Like it won't let me do anything. I don't know. It just has the X across it. So I don't know. Maybe the laptop's acting screwy. It's fine. I probably look like death anyway, everybody. Just the first shower I've had in 3 days. But we have water.
We have water.
We have water. We've had water pump issues. Then we had a plumbing leak in the house. It's been one water disaster after another. You don't know water struggles until you flushing toilets with buckets. It's something else. It's been that kind of day. I've cried. My eyes are about swole shut. But anyway, we're gonna make it. We're good. We got water now. But I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. First I want to address some stuff about Miss Cathy before we get started. Um, Miss Cathy, and her last name O'Brien.
O'Brien, yeah.
O'Brien. My brain is mush. Cathy O'Brien. You want to explain to him? You know more about Miss Cathy than I do.
Just
You want to give him the rundown on who she is?
so Cathy O'Brien was one of the first women, along with Susan Eckhart Ford, that had come out about her MK through her childhood and as being used as a CIA drug mule, as well as MK sex slave, and many other things. She's written several books. She's come out in the public with many talks. Roseanne Barr has brought her out to the public in the forefront as well. She is in the process of working on trying to get these hearings together for all of us MK survivors. And she's just an amazing woman, and she's going through a lot of stuff right now. There was some kind of weird freak storm that just happened right around her house, and a bunch of trees crashed into the house and messed it up. So I'm guessing we are getting an update on that.
Well, the house is still not there, and she needs assistance in getting it done. So I was asked that our friend up north in Alaska sent us a message, and we are trying to get a hold of some of the Amish community because these people are so fantastic at what they
Yes,
do.
yes, they are.
And Miss Cathy is she's an exceptional person who does a lot for a lot of people. And so I was asked to try to at least put the word out and get the prayer out that Miss Cathy gets the help, and that maybe we can get some Amish over there and help stand her house back up quick, fast, and in a hurry, because don't nobody do it better than the Amish. And you know what, folks? If you want to know how we should have been living, just go look at the Amish. They're anti government, anti vax, anti pharmaceuticals. They don't have autism in their community. They don't have all this other stuff in communities. Like, I mean, I know they have problems too,
Yeah,
but
like, not to say they're not
yeah, but I mean, health
perfect.
problems, not because they don't trust the government. Not that we do either, but anyway. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud, but I'm already on watch list, so I don't care.
Girl, if we're
Leave
not on
me on top,
watch
Papa.
lists, then I don't know.
Hey, Miss Carol, I'm glad to see you. Um, yeah, if I'm not on a watch list, I'm extremely disappointed. And if I am, and there's somebody out there, one of those three-letter agencies that listens to our show or has to listen to our phone recordings, you have a boring life, dude. You should get a new job, new career, or she might be a she. I don't know, but you need a new job anyway. Just saying. Uh,
I
so
don't know. They may think we're pretty entertaining. I'm just
I was looking at my dinner order because my day has been so disastrous and we had no water, so I couldn't cook. So DoorDash to the rescue. Thank you, Uncle Danny. You made my day better, whether you know it or not, because your contribution just DoorDash dinner and I didn't have to cook it. We love us some Uncle Danny. Daniel, sorry, y'all know him as Daniel. That's my uncle.
I do love Daniel. I know I'm not flesh and blood, but I'm a sister in Christ.
That's right. Oh, I did not text. Oh, I didn't text Clayton that we were going live. Can you text him, Shannon? My phone is dead. I may have in Sanctuary. I don't know. But anyway, okay. To the point at hand, let's talk about Project Bluebeam. We have postulated on what this project really was for a long time. And Shannon and Clayton and we love to break down the etymology of words because words are not used for no reason. Blue has a meaning, and beam had a meaning. You know what I mean? It wasn't random. So Daniel postulated in the beginning that possibly all these Starlink satellites that were going up like a grid, and they were possibly either gonna project. Oh, Diana, I know. I just stopped mid thought. I got to text you when I get off of here because I need to get your address because I've lost my thing with it on it. Because I got to send you something, and you know what I got to send you, but I need your address, baby. Text it back to me, please. It's been a hell of a day. But and hello, thank you for being here. Project Bluebeam. We thought that the possibly the Starlinks were going up like a grid for a projection purpose to fool us into false aliens. Then I went to, well, wait a minute, that's a lot. I don't know if they Truman show us that hard because you got to do that globally. That's a lot of governments involved. So then I'm like, well, maybe it's just Bluetooth headphones because we've looked up the patents for the Apple AirPods and it tells you in there that they're basically using HemiSync for brain manipulation in your AirPods. Um, And then I watched a TikTok the other day, which is what brought this up to my mind. Blue Beam. There is a way on Apple devices, I don't know about Android, and I still haven't gone back to look up how you do it, and I really should. But I heard a dad who was kind of tech savvy say that he went into the settings on his kids' iPads and turned off the blue light. I think you actually have to turn on a red light filter or something, but when you turn this on, he noticed that his children, even his teenagers, and himself and his spouse, you get there and you're scrolling, you're scrolling, you're scrolling. It's like a dopamine hit.
right.
And that's why the videos get shorter and shorter. But when he switched that light, the dopamine hit quit. He's like, his kids would scroll for a couple of minutes and then they'd put it down and go on to doing something else rather than being zoned in for hours.
So
So
how
could
do you
Project
do this?
Bluebeam be the blue light coming out of these devices at us that's manipulating our brain?
So how do you do this?
I don't know. I've got to go back and research it. Girl, there are 241 text messages on my phone that are unaddressed from today. Like, we have the biggest community, guys, of like our people, our podcasters, our people, and it is so wonderful that I have been feeling so alone in the past day or two with all these disasters going on, and like friends and show people. Everybody was like, I hope you have a good day, like, are you okay? Because they all knew I was on meltdown mode, like just laying in the bed ugly crying because it was meltdown mode, it was overload. So I no, I've not been back to research how you turn it on. I haven't eaten all day, Shannon. I haven't had time for that in my emotional mental midgetry.
I understand.
And
True.
everybody puff, puff, pass. And I didn't even get mine before I come in here. What kind of insanity is that? Does that tell you what? I've not even puff past all day long, everybody. Does that tell you where I'm at? I'm digging for it as we speak. I'm digging.
We did converse. You had moments.
Yeah, we've had moments like Shannon and I normally stay on the phone 2 to 3 hours per day, not for the show, just because we can't live without each other. And Shannon's husband knows he has to share her with me because she's my bestie, and that's just not going to change. Never. He's just lucky I'm on the other side of the country. But anyway,
Yeah, and
and
it's his
it's his birthday, so happy birthday, hubby.
happy birthday, my love.
Can y'all tell my ADD is kicking tonight? I'm killing it over here. But we are early tonight
Who's
because
saying? I'm gonna
Shannon
have to
has
tell him. Be like, Roxy even sang for you
ain't it. Play it back for him, and I'll
live,
sing for everybody
live.
live on the air.
Oh my
And if
god.
I could turn my camera on, he would see my face too in my hands as I was doing to like pump up the jam move. But back to our subject, we know that their goal forever has been to manipulate us by whatever means necessary. Mind control, MK Ultra. We know the government was dosing us with LSD. We know they were using mind control in the gateway program on children. The more they learn, the bigger weapon they make. And I know that I have gotten on TikTok or Facebook Reels or whatever and just got lost. I mean, you're there for hours, just, endlessly scroll, scroll, scroll. But every time you scroll and you see something that you like and it makes you laugh or it invokes an emotional reaction, that is a dopamine hit in your brain. And we're gonna do the chemical thing. Clayton and I had this conversation last night. Clayton and I were on the phone till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and really wished we would have recorded our phone call. We going and this is gonna lead into wrestling. And if you're new to the show and you don't know what wrestling is, we are not talking about WWE. We are talking about two adults and what they do. We try to keep this show as family friendly as possible. And I have children in the house, but and this has come about as of late a big deal with me because I'm dating again. And I don't want to date somebody who's took the jab. And it doesn't mean that that person's a bad person. I don't have anything against them. I just don't want it to transfer to me because we know it sheds. If you date a person at some certain particular point in the relationship, you probably gonna wrestle if you together long enough. And let's just say if you wrestling, you might as well. Addie, can you go get the DoorDash, baby?
Good
Um,
time.
Send him a mini me to get the DoorDash. But at some point during wrestling, even holding, okay, if you know somebody that has had the poke and you're walking down the road and you're holding hands, every spot of skin on your body has pores. Pores absorb like a sponge. If we're holding hands and you've been poked and I haven't, the sweat from your hand to my hand will start transferring the pokey contents. I don't know why I'm saying pokey. It's the damn vaccine, the COVID vaccine. If you took it or somebody else took it and you exchange sweat, if you kiss them or if you wrestle, it's a different degree of shedding, but you're shedding.
Well,
Hugging somebody, skin to skin.
when I back in 2013 when I was going through all the visions and things, one of the things that was really prevalent that I could not only see but feel, because I truly believed that they forced me down and jabbed me. This is back in 2013 before any of this ever was a thing. And I could see and feel like the cityscapes of tech growing inside of me, but I could feel off of the palms of my hands like little electrical metallic things just popping off all over. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
kind of how I actually envision it when I think of the transfer, because it's not just through fluids or physical touch. Even it's like your electrical impulses. It's there's something to that. and I could see it and feel it like coming off my hand. It was tripping me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's to me how I kind of envision this whole process of how it sheds like that. And again, if you're not in the frequency of Jesus Christ, the word of God, or the Most High, our Father in heaven, then you are susceptible to these things. But I do believe that frequency protects from that stuff to come into you because you got a little protective bubble of Jesus.
Ain't it? See, and Snowball said it without having to say wrestling. So, just in case nobody knows, all them people right there, they put a little bit of them and a little bit of every shot. And that is disgusting. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm starving. I'm gonna eat my French fries,
I
my
mean,
taters, my taters.
I'm not completely unconvinced that, the Epstein-Barr virus doesn't have some genetic ties personally.
See, I had never even heard of that until I got diagnosed with it. My
I
dad got
Googled about it
diagnosed, and
because
so
it's
then they
also
tested me.
called mono, the kissing disease. That's what they call, that's what they call it. I knew
Mm-hmm.
that. Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's something you don't ever get rid of. That's for sure. Kind of like Epstein himself, just can't kill that cockroach. Cockroach, cockroach. Anyway,
La cucaracha,
la
la
cockroach. Yeah,
cucaracha.
that's exactly where my brain went, Shannon.
Da, da, da,
See, me and Shannon is like a road trip with random songs. Our whole life, it's like a road trip with random songs. You should try talking to us on FaceTime with a little puff puff pass.
Except the only difference is everywhere I go, even no matter where we're at, it doesn't matter. I'm still
Bopping
dancing.
along.
I'm bopping. And she's like, "You really do dance everywhere you go." I'm like, "Yep.
Everywhere. She's always singing and dancing.
Yep."
But how much, I know, squirrel, how much control are they taking of our brain and our subconscious with this blue light that they're shooting at us? There are glasses which block blue light. And I have a pair around here somewhere, and I don't know why I don't wear them more.
Well, like a while back ago, right when I've been seriously on the rabbit hole. I really got to find another way to say this. Down the train,
On the bus.
on the bus of the Project Looking Glass and all this stuff. I mean, come on, I can't help but obsess over it. But a lot of people in their experience of the things that I've been hearing of others who remembered this program, a lot of them speak of this yellow golden light in the center. And I don't remember that. My memory is of this like indigo light, like a purpley blue light
Oh,
that
Shannon.
just went
You just squirreled my
everywhere.
brain all the way back to a year ago. Remember when I started having the Egyptian dream?
Yeah.
And the Egyptian dream has to end. And remember, I told you I couldn't figure out if it was paint, if it was a flower, or what it was. But this indigo blue color was like permeating my brain for a little while, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Maybe this is what it is.
That it was the beam of light that like we levitated in the center. And it's interesting too because other people have memories of being in a chair device that's in a certain geometrical shape. We as little children, we did not have a sitting device. We were that geometrical shape because we had to sit in the whole, meditation position, and we were not clothed. There are other people who remember having to put on all this gear. I mean, I'm not saying we didn't have, things on us, like EKG kind of equipment and things along those lines. But we did not have, it was just us. And we were levitating in the center of that light. There was water underneath and the concentric circles going around. And outside of it was a projection of what was going on inside of the experience of the child.
Yeah.
So but the blue, indigo, purpley light was like so prevalent in this, and I didn't understand. Like, were we in different parts of this project? Is it exactly the same? Because if they were remembering this yellow light and sitting in this chair, and or was it just because they needed that extra boost? Like, I don't know. These are all questions I have because I'm like,
Well, for every answer we come up for all of this crap, we come up with 2 million more questions. And most of them are why. And it all comes down to free will. I honestly believe these monsters are trying to take our free will from us. Like your ability to make a reasonable, sound decision. If you think about, and I think about the cartoon in my brain because everything I think is a vision, it's a visual, it's not just a thought. I see the little angel on one corner, on shoulder, and devil on the other. And the devil gets a lot louder when that blue light from that phone or that tablet or that TV or the computer. If it's a screen, it emits a blue light. And if is that the blue light that they're screwing with our brain?
and isn't it funny how in 2020, Poet don't know it, that all of these indigo heliotrope lights pop up all over the place in the
Mm-hmm.
streets and all that. Remember, they used to be that soft
Oh
yellow.
yeah, we went through the whole thing about the purplish blue lights that were out there.
Exactly. I know you know what's up, Daniel. I know you know we're in the audience. Hi. Shout out, Daniel. What's up? I don't know why I just went gangster with
Uncle
that.
Danny, you missed that earlier. I told everybody that you had made my day so much more fantastic because that gift you sent me, I'm now eating potatoes with it. And it helped my emotional breakdown to have potatoes today. I love potatoes.
Yep. So, really, there's this whole. I mean, we went down the train of understanding that the helio and that they had some type of way of showing that luminescence, the Luciferase stuff that was in the pokes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see it with those lights. It glows under that type of light. So not only can they visually see that you're, if you are one of them or not with this, but it has to have some kind of psychological
Effect.
frequency to get in line with this whole mass delusion that they're about to spread.
Well, they're all about spreading mass delusion, and they've been studying our brain for years to find the most effective, efficient way to make us all crazy. And don't get me wrong, a couple of years ago, I was completely tech geeked. I'm sitting right here at my desk in the studio. On my desk, I have one, two, three pair of Apple AirPods, another pair of just generic earbuds. I have an Apple Watch, an iPad, and an iPhone, plus my laptop. Every one of those is can emit a frequency when used. Your Apple Watch is emitting an EMF through your wrist. If you wear an Apple Watch, please take it off and don't ever wear it again. If you got a habit, put it somewhere that's not on your body because that driveway alarm gets me every show. Our driveway is like way out there, so we have to have an alarm. Um, the EMF that the watch is emitting can affect your blood, your heart, your lungs, and it's much worse on the left arm than it is the right. I watched a whole thing on it this morning. It was Dr. Gary. Now, does anybody know about Gary Brecka? You know who Gary Brecka is?
It sounds really familiar.
Gary
I,
Brecka used to work for the life insurance industry. He had been in the life insurance industry for a long, long time. And life insurance companies have more information about you than anybody else on earth besides maybe a three-letter agency. But the trick is they have everybody's information. They know when you were born, how much you weighed, where you lived, um, when you've been sick, what medicines you've been on, what your complaints were, everything. And I learned a lot from listening. He worked in the insurance industry and understood that rather than fixing people, they were using it to rig the life insurance lottery, is what made him upset. And he's now going into, like how to how to fix your body. Like don't take these drugs. They're giving you a drug to fix this, but it's just you're simply deficient in this nutrient. And but he tells you that once they get a records, by the time you're 20 or 25, as far as a natural death or a progression of disease, they know exactly when you're going to die within a month. Natural death without any, severe trauma, they can narrow your death down to like a 30-day window. And so what he started seeing in that was like, okay, let's say you go to the doctor for the first time and you say, "Oh, my hands are hurting, my elbows are hurting, knees are." The first thing that doctor tells you is you got rheumatoid arthritis, and we need to prescribe you a corticosteroid. If you start a corticosteroid within, I think it's 6 years, within 6 years and 1 month, you will have to have a joint replacement. When it was nothing more than a vitamin deficiency in the beginning, and the steroids were never needed. If you'd have never took the steroids and fixed your vitamin deficiency, you would have never felt the joint pain and would have never needed a joint to be replaced. Go ahead.
question. Do you think that this is relevant to those who are weird freaks of nature like us who have never really broken any bones? Because I I mean, I've never been like I've never regularly had to take steroids, but I've taken them in the past for, my back and certain things along those lines before I understood and knew that I was like, no, there is better
Well,
ways.
now he didn't mean, I don't think he meant like taking a steroid for 10 days and getting off. This was like a long term. If you start on steroids
Right.
and it's a long term thing, you will have to have joint replacement within 6 years.
But there still has to be some kind of long term effect. You know what I mean? You
Oh,
would think,
yeah.
and
Girl, they won't
especially
even give
to
me
have
life insurance.
no, I would never.
Best I can tell, I'm unkillable.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I am unkillable. I have hit a pine tree at 100 miles an hour with my actual skull. I have had a heart attack. I've had cancer, and I've had 21 surgeries. I bled out on the operating table from them trying to fix my broken clavicle from that wreck. Like, no, I just jump right back up and go again. I had a hysterectomy on Wednesday. I drove myself to town on Saturday and picked up my medicine and went back to work on Monday. Like, my body just doesn't operate like other people's do. And you try
Right.
to tell a doctor that, especially if he's a new doctor and you go in for a problem, you're like, dude, my body don't operate like that. Like, antibiotics don't work. Pain medicine don't work. Can you,
Did you?
that doctor didn't believe me until they put me to sleep with propofol. And I told him, I said, it ain't going to work, dude. Oh, yeah, we know what we do. And, well, they sent me home, didn't do my surgery, and he left with a black eye. That's his problem, not mine. I told him. Told him he couldn't put me to sleep, and when you don't put me to sleep good, old Roxy comes up slinging. Imagine that. Imagine that.
I'm curious, right? Have you ever seen the movie Unbreakable? It's like M. Night
Multiple
Shyamalan.
times.
Right,
Daniel is unbreakable.
right. So it's like that whole storyline. And then, of course, there's the opposite of the one who breaks everything with the slightest touch. And that's a real disorder. I'm just curious because,
Brittle
like, this
bone.
is something that's just kind of come into my being, my whole world and radar. Because, we've been on the whole gate thing a lot. And one of the things that seems to be a commonality that I never had heard about until now was that if you've never broken a bone, and even though you've been in situations where you should have darn well broken bones, like that's one of the things that is in common. And I just thought to myself, my goodness, in all of the situations I've been in, and I've been in many, many accidents, I've had many concussions, but I've never had a broken bone, not even a fracture. And girl, I tell you, I have fallen so many times with my passing out condition and whatever. I'm graceful. I've never broken a bone. Why? What is that? What genetic anomaly is
I don't
this?
know. I don't know. That wreck I got in, I do believe an average person, which I know this, the doctors have told me, like, nobody should have survived that wreck. Y'all, when I hit this tree, I was young, dumb, 16, and drunk. Not going to deny, I was drunk. Drunk as a skunk. Don't even remember where I was at when the wreck happened, and couldn't find out I was right around the corner from my great uncle's house. But I hit this tree. I ran off the road. I was running 100 miles an hour when I ran off of a freshly paved road. The car spun to the left, hit a concrete tile in a ditch, picked up, done another 180. So we were headed back in the direction we went. And literally, the left hand side of my temple, because I was driving, hit a pine tree. It gave me what's called a Lafort 3 fracture, which is pretty much a cranial fracture that goes all the way around your skull, kind of like a lobotomy would be. And the doctor's like, she should have been dead. I mean, it busted my head like that, broke my nose, broke both of my jaws, broke my left clavicle, left arm in two places. Like, I was messed up. I woke up in the ambulance. I'm like, somebody need to call my mama. And they just kind of looked at me like they thought I was dead. And when people I went to school with, because I was in high school when this happened, a 16-year-old drunk, um, like people that I went to school with went to where the car was, where it had been towed to at a dealership. They hung black wreaths on the fence where the car was. Like there was a rumor going around I was dead because there was like no way I could have survived it. It took the earrings out of my ears, knocked them through the hole in my ear, and they ended up in the back glass of the car. The seat I was sitting in, and this was 1990. I'm about to tell my age. 91, I think. This was a Grand Prix, which was still a good sized car. You know what I mean? The Grand Prix back then weren't little teeny. It wasn't a big, huge battleship. It was newer, but it was a good sized car. The seat I was sitting in was like 4 inches wide when they cut me out the car. And none of my hips were broke, none of my legs or back or anything was messed up. It just busted my head and my shoulder up because I guess I decided to just headbutt the tree. Believe it or not, the tree died. I did not. The tree died. The lady had to cut the tree down because I killed the tree, but you couldn't kill me.
Yeah.
I've had my heart attack. My ex-husband, I was having a heart attack. I'm like, I think I'm having a heart attack. He said, let's go to the hospital. No, buddy, it's Christmas Day. You better get these kids over here. If I'm going to die, they going to open all this Christmas I got before then. I'm going to see that before I leave this world. No.
Yeah, I have some similar experiences, especially when it comes to car accidents, and where my mom was told when she went to look at the vehicle back in 2000 you know, the guy at the tow place was like, "I'm so sorry for your loss," and she was like, "My daughter walked out of the ER. She just has a big concussion and some scrapes, you know." And he was like, "There's no way." And he showed her the truck, and she broke down, like flipped out, and just could not believe that I didn't even have a broken. I walked out of
How
the
did
hospital.
how did we get on Unbreakable? We must have squirreled off
Because
somewhere. I
I
don't even know how we
brought it
got
up.
here.
I brought it up because I'm curious, right? Like, first of all, this storyline didn't just come out of nowhere. There's something to it. M. Night likes to go into a lot of these lore things and these MK
Oh,
things. You can
mm-hmm.
tell that that movie has a lot to do with MK. Same thing with the what was the one where the guy had his like, you know, multiple personalities. You know, which actually ends up in another sequel to Unbreakable. They all come together in that one.
Yeah, what was the name of that one? Wasn't that the dude that the guy in the wheelchair? What was his? Who is
That's
it that played
Samuel
that?
L. Jackson, baby.
Yeah,
That's
Samuel L.
right.
Jackson. I could see him in my head. I couldn't spit his name out. But no, like there have been multiple times. Like, okay, I have O negative. I can give anybody my blood, but I can only take my kind. I can only have my kind of blood. And when I went in to have my clavicle fixed from that wreck, it snapped it in two. And when they put the brace on it, it didn't grow back properly. Well, what this, who now has no medical license, I'm going to say that, this orthopedic surgeon said was, we're going to have to go in, saw it in two, and we'll reset it. They didn't do no just assume, it hadn't grew back. What they didn't realize was the artery, the main artery in my neck was wound up in it. So when this idiot made his slice to go into my shoulder, he sliced my artery open. This was supposed to be like a 1 hour surgery. And my ex husband and I had been together probably about a year then when all this had happened because this surgery was later down the road after the accident. And like said, him and my parents were sitting there and it'd been a couple of hours and like nobody's coming to tell him anything. And when the doctor finally comes out mid surgery, he said this is no lie that he had never seen a horror movie with somebody that bloody. I went in for a hernia surgery and they made the incision and my intestines fell on the floor. Like it's just the weirdest medical anomalies you could think of.
Is this also part of this? Because it's like, how many of us have had these kinds of scenarios where it's supposed to be something, but something goes terribly wrong because they're not expecting whatever, and it's
Well,
always some kind of messed up anomaly. Because that's what happened with my spinal surgery,
see,
and
I don't think we
so
feel
many
pain
other
like other
things.
people do. I know that my pain, like what I feel versus what I see other people feel when that happens, I'm like, "Oh my god, you're such a baby." Like why are you like I had a spinal tattoo. My spinal tattoo, y'all, it's probably 3 inches tall. I mean, it's some good sized words. Shannon can tell you. It goes from the base of my skull to the crack of my bootay. It says, "For she shall rise with grit and grace." I had that put on there years ago. Like this dude that was doing my tattoo. Now I ain't going to no tattoo shop for this. This was my boy. Me and him was sitting at his house, puff passing, and he was tattoo artist. I leaned over a kitchen stool in the kitchen, no numbing or nothing. He's like, "Mom, you sure you want me to do this?" I'm like, "Get at it." Like I didn't even feel any pain until he got to like the bottom 1 inch. And he was like, he was actually calling his roommate. He's like, "You got to come look at this." He's like, "Man, I've never seen anybody take a tattoo like that." I had a 6 hour tattoo put on my thigh. I fell asleep. I'm like an hour in, I'm out. Dude's like, "I've never seen anybody sleep that long to a tattoo." The buzz of it is like, it's good to me. I went to Shannon, went to California and got one. Dude went to put on numbing cream. I'm like, "What you doing?" He's like, "Numbing it." I'm like, "That's some sissy stuff there, man. We just chainsaw that at home." I don't need no numbing cream. That's the missing the point. I like the pain.
That's awesome.
I don't feel pain. I cut my heel string in two on a screen door one time and drove myself to the emergency room. I took a tube sock and tied it off so it would quit bleeding on my floor mat. I put my kids in the car seat and I drove to the hospital. And my heel string was cut completely in two. It burned, but I weren't dying. Like I don't know. I just don't get it. Both of my kids were. I had the first one in like 3.5 hours. I had the second one in 45 minutes. Like I'd have had
Oh,
him in the elevator if they'd moved a little slower because I was.
no, no, no. That is so not fair. We're talking like 24, 28
No,
hours
girl.
later. That's me.
My first kid
Not-
at lunch, I had a stomach ache. I thought I had gas. First kid. I'm like 20 years old. I told my mom because we were fixing to leave to go shopping. It was February. It was cold. I'm like, oh, I think my stomach's going to be messed up. We probably shouldn't go shopping. She's like, well, give it a minute. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh, it hurt again. My mom's looking and like these gas pains I'm having are contractions. They're like 4.5 minutes apart. She's like, well, we might should go to the hospital. I'm like, okay. We got to the hospital. I took me a shower, shaved my legs, got all ready. It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock by the time, they get me settled in labor and delivery. I had that kid at 4:15. The second one, by the time I woke up and realized I was in labor, we like booked it to the hospital 15 miles away. And I was having him in the elevator. Like, I ain't had time for all that mess. I got to get up and go. I had a hysterectomy, went right back to work. And we ain't got no time for all that mess. It's just, I don't know. I don't think I feel pain. And yes, I hurt myself today to see if I could feel. I think that's my whole tattoo thing.
That's
That's one of the reasons I love getting a tattoo because I can. That's something that it's not like pinching myself doesn't hurt. Stumping my toe doesn't hurt. I mean, I feel it, but it doesn't hurt. But when I go to a tattoo parlor and I lay there for 4 or 5 hours and they're like, zzz, the pain, after a while, I can actually feel the pain. Sometimes it's just like you just need to really feel the pain.
you.
That probably sounds crazy.
There's a movie about that too. Go figure.
Go figure.
Go figure. Where it's a world that they've just, solved. They've made everyone numb. There is no such thing as pain anymore. So all these kids get high off of this drug that gives you this horrific pain just so they can feel pain, feel something. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I think the whole feeling the pain of a tattoo is probably one of my things as to which I mean, don't get me wrong, I like tattoos, but I don't think most people really enjoy getting a tattoo like I do. Like I get excited. I'm like, oh, it's time for pain. When you don't physically feel a lot of things. Now, I feel other things. You know what I mean? Like a massage or, positive touch or whatever. I feel that normally, or what I think is normal. I guess it's normal. But actual pain receptors don't work on me. So by the time that I realized, see, like this whole thing where my intestines fell out, that was a hernia. That bad boy on my left hand side, it had ripped through the muscle, the abdominal wall, and I could feel the lump on my skin. I went to the doctor. He's like, "Oh, honey, you got a bad. We need to do surgery in the morning." I'm like, "Okay," went on in there. Yeah, just happened so when the general surgeon went in there and made his incision, my OBGYN who had referred me to him had just left the other room and scrubbed out of surgery. And he went in the OR to see how bad the hernia was. And as my intestines fell out on the floor, it took two surgeons to put me back together. Now, they've done that surgery 3 times now. My whole abdominal wall from the bottom of my ribs to the top of my hip bone is mesh.
Whew.
21 surgeries later, here I stand. And that doesn't even include dental procedures because I've had both jaw joints broke and my mouth wired shut.
So, and going back to that as I stand comment, is this a good segue for the August 12th talk?
Absolutely. Get it. Puff, puff, pass,
Okay,
everybody. Here we go.
I'm okay. I know we've talked about this briefly on a show once or twice way back when it very first kind of popped up, but I'm sure all of you now have heard about this supposed gravity anomaly that's supposed to take place on August 12th, where we lose gravity for 7 point something seconds. And people are, everything's going to just whoosh and then drop and fall, right? And they are expecting all these deaths. And there was like $89 billion put into the budget with this. What is it?
I'm
What?
sorry. I had one of those random squirrel thoughts. You know how people have picked on us for years about, hippies or just tree huggers and, you people and all this. You know what, on that day, for all you
Hmm.
people, if this does happen, you better go hug a tree. Just saying, you better go hug a damn tree because that's the only thing that's going to be rooted. Again, it's
Okay.
just
All
hilarious
right.
that the people who don't believe us and call us crazy tree huggers, y'all gonna be the ones that come flying down the dump truck falls on you because you didn't go hug a tree. So be it. You got what you got.
Oh, if only my dad was alive right now. Anyways, so okay, but right, they put $89 billion in this whole thing, and they've been working on it what since the 90s or early 2000s. They've known about this or postulated this or whatever. And I question, lady, right? Is the $89 million something that they've put in for the technology to pull this said thing off? Or is this truly a supernatural event that they are trying to cover up and make some kind of excuse for? You know what I'm saying? And why,
Yeah.
if this isn't actually going to happen, why in the world would you put this in on the world stage as a postulation?
It's a scare tactic, but I'm gonna give you a whole nother reference, y'all, that we've never thought about in all of these crooked, greedy, satanic, baby eating pedophiles are doing. All the big words, all at once. I can repeat it if anybody didn't hear it. Roxy and Shannon for president. But anyway, um, there was a employee of that three-letter agency that starts with the letter C. He has been with the agency now for 14 or 16 years. Um, Come to find out, his whole resume was fake. He should have never worked for that agency. He suckered our government into starting a program, which he was the head of, to investigate whatever it was. Um, all the money that was funneled into this project he was running was sitting in his basement where he had $41 million worth of gold that he had stole of our money, taxpayer money, on some fake project, had put out reports, had put out scientific findings over these 10 years of this project. Like it's a whole thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like project
Mhm.
whatever, Bluebeam, Anchor, whatever. There was no project. There was no other employees. There was no all the gear he was saying he needed for this, that, and the other. Nah, he'd buy it, take it somewhere, and buy gold with the cash. $41 million worth of our tax dollars.
So do we get it back now?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But okay, so that that's a that
Big
is a
Mike,
really
Big
thought.
Mike and his husband probably spent that. Big Mike.
I'm
And if
not
you don't,
gonna say
anybody
on
don't
what,
know who
on
Big Mike
pizza
is,
and hot dogs.
yeah,
Just
that was the
saying.
first husband a few years ago was Big Mike.
So that's a really good thought process, though, because again, I like to put the whole gambit in our face. Like, here is that thought of, okay, if this is a psyop and all this money got funneled in, is it because someone took it, they were just trying to rob us, that kind of thing? Or is there a real agenda behind it?
Well, you
Or
know
is
that,
this again a supernatural event that they are trying to figure out how to get out of or cover up in some way? Because this is my, you know, to me it's like one or the other. Like, they have some wild technology that they're trying to practice
mm,
to see what it's gonna do. And like, this might happen.
let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Let's stick our finger in the hole and see if something bites us.
Yeah. Or something supernatural is coming and they know what it is, like what's
But
gonna
if it's
happen.
supernatural, they couldn't know it. Now,
Well,
if it was scientific, you might could predict it. But if it's
right,
supernatural, it comes from our Father in heaven, and He ain't giving them no date and time. So this has got to be man made or man observed. I don't think the
okay.
big man has sent them no memo of when and where this is going to happen. I don't see this Project Anchor and losing gravity as having any positive spiritual meaning
Right.
because, like, I just don't.
So, which is again my original thought was, so they're gonna mess with some tech that they don't know what's gonna do.
Sorry, guys. I put backyard.
And does it have something to do with this crazy wild black cube data center that they have in Utah?
Well, going since we've said the word data center, I'm gonna take you to the conversation Clayton and I had last night till wee hours of the morning, and we wished we would have recorded it. And then we said, "Oh, we recorded this." Kept right on talking for another hour and a half and never hit the record button. But anyway, that's me and Clayton on our 3 hour phone calls. Um, the data centers. Okay, we know water holds memory, water holds structure, and we can take this all the way back to early times. We can, when we go to like the 1800s. If you've ever watched Bridgerton, the show, this is the time we're talking about, folks. So that you have a visual. These are those rich families that owned railroads and oil companies have come over here and built mansions that took up city blocks, had hundreds of employees. These people, when they got close enough to an ocean, they had big pumps in the bottom of their house that pumped seawater up to copper bathtubs. Their swimming pools were full of copper, whether it be like a larger public, motel pool or the ones in their home. They had copper. Copper is antibacterial. If you have a swimming pool and you're having to use chemicals, get you a few little pieces of scrap copper pipe, put it in your skimmer and see what happens. Water has structure, water has memory. So before you drink any water, unless you're drinking it straight from the river, scooping it up and drinking it, that water should go in a copper vessel and sit there for a little while before you drink it. Copper restructures water to its natural living structure, which is what you're supposed to have when you take it in your body. And no, you don't need 8 gallons of water every time you turn around. The reason they told you to drink that much water is because they filled that bad boy with fluoride to
Not
calcify
just
your pineal gland.
not just fluoride. I just thought of something. What does chlorine do?
Okay.
technically, because that's
It
what
was
one of
invented as
the main.
a poisonous gas.
Right, and that's one of the main things they use to purify our water. So, like when you're taking a bath or a shower, if you're not on well water or something along those lines, you're getting the city water or town water, and that's coming from a facility that not only adds in sewage water that's supposedly treated, but it's coming in from all these other different sources, groundwater that gets recycled in. And so they use mainly chlorine as well as a few other chemicals. I can't remember the specific names, but chlorine is the main one. And that's what your tap water consists of. So when we're bathing, our skin is actually the largest organ in your body, and it soaks up more of that than even drinking and consuming water. So what is the chlorine doing to you? What is it changing about the memory as well with that water?
Well, and not only when you got water that's returned through a water treatment plant, there is absolutely 0.0000 chance that they get the drugs out of that water. And when I say drugs, I don't mean heroin. I mean steroids, birth control, antibiotics, SSRIs, every single prescription drug that every human being ever takes, whether it be over the counter or with a prescription. If you put it in your body does this fantastic filtering process. Our Father in heaven designed the most amazing machine ever in the way it works. This is the biggest hot rod you could ever get to drive. I mean, he didn't give us, he didn't give us the Hyundai version of the meat suit. He give every one of us a Ferrari if you can just figure out how to shift the gears. I've been on a fasting thing lately, and that Ferrari, my gears are starting to shift faster. My mind's becoming clearer if I can get over this mental midget moments I'm having with it. But the all when your body does what it does and you go pee, those chemicals are in there. That's why they can take urine and do a drug test at the doctor's office. They can tell you everything you've ever had out of your pee if it's, within that period. They have absolutely no way to filter all of those drugs out. So they clean that water up. It's still full of 9 million different kinds of chemicals from prescription and over the counter drugs, much less street drugs, because that's still going to filter back out of your urine. So if you ever think you ain't had some of them street drugs, go get you a glass of city water. I promise you. Go get you a glass of what I call city water that comes from a water treatment plant. Every drug in because you drunk it right out the glass. And we didn't even understand that these idiots were doing this to us on purpose. And yes, the frogs, Snowball, you are correct. And that is a chemical that is sprayed on grain products. It's called Astavine, I don't know. Willie told me all about it, the the what it does to the grain. Like if you had, and this is something that's in your food. If you eat a grain product, this is in it. Mon, the Santo company. If you buy seeds as a farmer, if you buy seeds, those seeds have been genetically modified so that weeds or bugs will not destroy that crop. But in order for that crop, that seed to do what it's supposed to do at a particular point, you bought the seed from, we just going to call them Monty. If you buy the Monty seeds, you plant the seeds, then you got to go back to the Monty and buy the chemicals, atrazine. Yeah, you got to go back and buy the chemicals to make said crop grow. You're not allowed to reuse the seeds. They have, all kind of patents, and they do DNA tests, on your crops to make sure you're using the seed you bought. They even measure that it's all reported. It's all reported to the USDA and all of them and all them farm agencies that the Ag Service, you told them you had 200 acres of wheat that you were going to plant, so you bought enough seeds for 200 acres. If you go to the place where you sell the grain and you got twice as much grain as you should have, you in trouble. And don't think they don't send little men in black suits down by your fields that you marked GPS wise with, the Farm Service, and just swipe something out of your field and test it and make sure that crop is the seed that you bought and make sure it's this year's. They are so slick. They can go to your field and cut some of your crop, take it back and test it and tell you what year that seed was produced. They change the genetic modification every single year. But that atrazine, if you've got a grain product, let's say a hurricane's coming in and the grain hasn't quite bloomed, but you want to get it out the field before the storm comes, they just run in there and spray atrazine on it. Wheat blooms, snatch it up and store it. If you take a swimming pool and put 400 what they call super male bullfrogs, super bullfrogs, they're all boys, put atrazine in it. Within a couple of days, the boys have now ovaries and are having babies from one chemical in a bunch of boys into water. Damn bread, it's in the Pop Tarts, it's in the cereal, it's where they are chemically neutering the estrogen and testosterone within our body by the chemicals in our food. Good Lord, I got on a soapbox. I should push in.
Well, with the chlorine, just the very simple basics, aside from hair and nail damage and stuff, microbiome imbalance. Think of how many issues we have with microbiome, not just on our outside, but inside. All the gut issues. Everyone needs to take probiotics like crazy because our own natural biome system is constantly being bombarded through our largest organ in our body with chlorine. And it also causes major asthma issues, inner ear issues. And that's just skimming the surface of some of the things that I've seen. But I'd like to get a full-on MSDS sheet from if there's anybody out there. I'm sure you can probably find it online, but I don't always necessarily trust that they show you everything, even though they're supposed to. But if there's a way to get an MSDS sheet of all the chemicals and all the things they do add to our water to filter it out and supposedly cleanse it from all these things, especially with its reused water issue and these data centers and what it's doing to the water in that respect and all of that stuff. I'd like to see an actual list of these chemicals because they've been poisoning us with everything, right? Our water is the most vital, important thing. You can go several days without food as long as you
Well,
have
I'm
water.
gonna back you up when it's that most important thing they're poisoning. We got to back up and put the air in front of that because they're
Yeah,
poisoning that
air and
first.
water.
Then that's landing in your water again.
Air and water.
Air and
They're
water.
cutting down the trees to not allow them to filter it because that's what they do. They're
Do
the
you know why
lungs
they
of
don't
the
want
earth.
hemp? Okay, this is another one of the reasons. And there are some people out there, and I know a lot of people in our room and our viewers have dropped. I don't care. We're off on a rant. Our regulars, we've been here. They don't want to stay. We love you. Thank you for coming. But we real over here. the the warfare that they're doing on the air and the water, because when it goes in the air, it drops on the crop. It falls into your fresh water supply. One of the main reasons They don't want the hemp plant grown free range with farmers in this country. One of the only or one of the biggest plants on this earth that purifies nuclear waste is the hemp plant. And the hemp plant is still usable after it cleans the earth.
The hemp plant and a certain type of mycelium and mushrooms. Well,
Yep.
there's a specific kind too that will do that and break down anything, even petroleum. It's amazing.
Chernobyl is covered in hemp. And where they have planted hemp at Chernobyl, wildlife has come back. Flowers are growing. The soil is testing clean. When they said it would take 100 years longer than it actually took just by planting the hemp. And hemp is cannabis. It's just a different type of variation. Same thing. Same
Yes,
thing.
I can get you.
It's like a white rose and a red rose. It's still a rose. It is the most beneficial plant that we can plant on our earth. There is nothing, there is absolutely zero waste from a hemp plant. You can make clothes with it, you can make paper with it, you can make medicine with it, you can make building supplies with it, you can clean the earth with it. You ain't gonna tell me that plant ain't from the big man upstairs. He ain't designed nothing that perfect without it having a purpose. You can put it in a pipe and smoke it, and everybody smiles. That is God's plant. That is the Lord's lettuce. Puff, puff, pass some of the lettuce, the broccoli. Oh, yeah, Biggie. Much less how homes are built now and the off gassing from all of this stuff. Like, do you remember when you walked into, I don't know if anybody out there, a few probably have. I remember when I was younger, like, I lived in a mobile home. I've lived in a mobile home the majority of my life. A single wide or double wide. And I ain't ashamed, honey. I've lived in the trailer park. My daddy was a shade tree mechanic and a house painter on the side. Like, we lived in a double wide. We looked like Sanford and Son in the backyard. But I can guarantee you my daddy built one of the fastest motors around. And I was right there with him. I ain't never been ashamed of the trailer I come from. But when you went into a mobile home dealership, I remember my parents looking for one. I was like middle schoolish. Hey, sorry. I got chatty Cathy over here on the phone screaming behind me. Ashley, shut my door, please. This one. Um, sorry guys. The smell in there would literally burn your nose and throat in those new mobile homes sitting at the home dealership. Like it would burn you. And when you moved into it, it would be 3 months or a year, maybe before that smell went away. How toxic do you think that was to us as human beings?
Oh,
Nobody cared. This is why Gen X is different, y'all. We was latchkey kids that was sniffing formaldehyde in our new houses.
Gen X
Like
and
we was
Xenial, okay. Whatever.
Xenial, yeah.
I'm part X, part the other guy. It's cool. It's cool. I in the middle. I'm a bridge.
And some of you ladies out there, and there might be a few men, but some of you ladies out there that love all of these air fresheners and candles. I still don't know how we got here from Project Bluebeam, but all of the fresheners and candles and scented things you have in your house, get rid of them. Those are made out of oils, which you are not supposed to inhale into your lung. Different smells can alter your mentality, your subconscious, and they can be poisonous to your body.
And they're not natural. These are
No,
all
there's nothing natural about them.
created in a lab. It's not like they're using true essential oils, even though they're telling you, oh, made with essential oils. You might have put like
If anybody wants to be grossed out, go figure out where they get artificial vanilla extract from.
yeah.
Guarantee you won't eat no more of it.
We all vanilla bean up in this house, okay? We just go with the real deal. I know how to make my own vanilla extract. Thank you very much. With the real bean, no butt glands for me.
Yeah, Biggie, my chemical sensitivities, especially since cancer and chemo, this is like a lot of people think like, how can she eat potatoes and peanut butter and jelly that much? Potatoes are one of the only foods that I don't taste all of the chemicals in it. This is one of the reasons, like my tongue, the physical feel of my tongue does not feel the same pre-cancer as post-cancer. Somehow during chemo, it like fried or messed up my taste buds. When I bite into something, I don't taste, paprika or salt or garlic. No, I taste bleach and chemicals. And it tastes to me like it dipped in Fabuloso instead of barbecue sauce. This is why I eat potatoes and cheese. Good cheese and good taters. It it's I don't know. And I'm overly sensitive to it. And I have pre-cancer, I was not allergic to seafood. Post-cancer, I can smell it and start breaking out in hives. So I was reconstituted on some type of molecular level from chemotherapy, much less what they done to my bone marrow and my legs. But yeah, like the scented laundry detergents, Diana. Those the stuff. What do you call them? The Forevers or the what are those stupid little things? The fabric softeners companies sell them now, and it goes in the wash machine. Looks like little teeny rocks. They're like
Oh,
colored
yeah.
scent beads or
The
whatever they
seeds. Yeah.
are. Why would you put that in your clothes? Like people put all this laundry detergent in their laundry. You don't need that whole cup, folks. They're telling you to put that in there so you'll buy more.
I forgot. I turned my camera back on. By the way, look, I can tell you this. If you're already washing your clothes with Tide and all those stupid chemical brands, you're already inundated with it. That's just more that they're throwing at you. And it's not like that scent goes away for a long time. I have been using natural things for years and years and years. And look, there is a battle with that and getting your clothes to smell right and good with a lot of these natural things. They're clean, but whatever. Either way, there are some all natural companies that have developed the scent beads that are all natural and don't have any nasty things in them, like completely natural. And they smell nice, but the smell does go away. So, therefore, it's not some forever chemical stuck in your fabric. Because I've been very sensitive with my skin for a long time when it comes to detergent. Didn't understand until I started using natural stuff. And it's like any little change in that, I have issues and I get all itchy and whatever. So it's important to do that. But man, to battle that, especially if it got some funk in it before any of that, trying to get that out, you gotta do some tricks, man, with the natural stuff. But there are great companies that are all natural that are available out there to get extra smelly.
Peroxide, peroxide and vinegar are great laundry helps. Like if you got something's got a funky smell in it and you can't get it out, wash it in some vinegar. Like it's soured or you forgot and left it in the washing machine, wash that bad boy in
Girl,
vinegar.
I use vinegar as a fabric softener in with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural fabric softener, but even still, even when you do that, trust me, there are still some funks. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
got a battle when you
Hey,
look at
I got a
borax
puberty
and
teenage boy up here.
right, and hydrogen borax, hydrogen peroxide, vinegar, all these things, and you're like soaking your clothes for 48 hours, in a bathtub. Girl. I have tried
Listen
everything.
here, I'm living in funky land. I got two children, grandchildren that are about to enter puberty, and I got my 30-year-old son out there in his garage apartment. If you stink all that way, he must still be in puberty. That boy has got the stinkiest feet I've ever seen in my life.
Just
Like, don't take your shoes off in the truck with me or in the house with me. Leave them outside. They're bad.
spray is one of the most difficult smells. to get rid of.
See,
So
I
this
ain't having no
like,
cats.
no,
My
we're no more of that now. But still, it was there was a
Mike is in the room.
hey, what's up, Mike Smith? Wow.
Hope you and your wife are good, Mike.
That's okay. We started early because my aunt from Italy is in town, and again, as we mentioned, it is my husband's birthday, so we had to do it a little early today.
Yeah, we're doing it a little bit earlier, and that way, because I feel well as of right now. I'm trying to see what I have not attended to on my phone today. As of right now, I have 178 text messages I need to address. 178, folks. Welcome to Tuesday afternoon. And those are all show related. See,
So
our brains run in about 900 different directions because we are now hooked up with some of the most amazing people in the world. And Sunday night, we had this amazing conference call where we got to get on the phone with other podcasters, other YouTubers and Rumblers around the world because, we got different countries involved in there. And we have kind of gone from me, Danny, and Shannon to this explosive, amazing group of all you guys. And we all get to share ideas and information. Like Diana will send me something, and I'm looking at Diana and stuff. Like there's people in the, we can be friends. You can email me. Diana and I talk all the time. She'll text me something neat happens. She'll be like, look at this. And I might not answer you immediately, but just know you're in queue. There's 178 in front of you, but I'm coming. Give me a minute.
and hey, if you could send some prayers our way, because we are in the process of trying to get a hold of some serious heavy hitters for the kingdom of heaven, and we could use your prayers to,
Listen, we ain't Roseanne Barr. We want you. I've emailed your son Jake. We want you to come talk to us. You said you wanted to talk to people. Here we are. I emailed Jake. I private messaged him on Facebook. I sent him an email. And now I'm telling you, like, lady, you are my spirit animal. I strive to be you. Like you were the mom I really wanted some days when I was a kid. I love me some Roseanne because she's a lot like me. She don't care. If you don't like me, oh well, go somewhere else. Because haters gonna hate. And if you got 10 haters, you need 20 by the weekend. Because if you ain't building haters, you ain't doing your job for the big man upstairs.
right. Yep. And also, I am I am attempting to reach. Um, so Nicole Kidman has a couple of daughters that we have not really heard about or seen in the forefront. I mean, one of them was literally forced to live under the floorboards, and the oldest one has come along with a lot of receipts out in the public, and you know, so I've commented several times on her little thing on TikTok, and she's been like, "Hey," so I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you want to come talk with us? Because we not only 100% believe you, because I've always suspected that woman is witch, but she could really use some support because she's again gotten a lot of hate for what she's saying about her mom and what she has done to them as children and things, and she deserves to really be able to get out there. She's just barely kind of getting out there at this moment in time, and we would really love to support her because we believe you. We believe you, girl. Come
Right.
on.
Rye just sent a text message. I forgot about who Rye knows. Rye knows some people.
Hey.
Rye just sent us a message. You'll see it when we get off air.
Okay.
Like,
I look
okay, There's quite a few people in the audience that like don't like Roseanne, and I get that. I do not agree with Roseanne in everything she says. I do not. I'm not 100%. Look, before Roseanne was a political commentator, truther, whatever you want to call her, she was mom on TV, and like the Connors, I watched them faithfully. If she was on that show, I'd still watch it today.
I
And
oh
but she
sorry.
has some things to say, and I'd like to hear her out.
All right.
And she wants to have that conversation. I'm not against having a conversation with anybody about anything. And some of you might not like Charlie Kirk, but have you ever listened to him speak?
Please keep in mind this, okay? I need to say this out loud. When it comes to especially like Roseanne and people like that, she had been out in the open before explaining that her family was how her family was, that she had struck a deal with the devil at age 12 and that whole 9 yards. She's never been quiet about those experiences. But she grew up in this. She was MK'd just like so many. And she's been waking up from all of that over these years and understanding more and more. And if it wasn't for her and some of these other MK'd people who had been born into this, right? Like a lot of us, they were put in front of a camera. We would not have the right to be saved, right? Like these people are waking up too, and she's been on a journey with that. And that's just kind of what I wanted to say, because if she was completely on their side, you think that she'd be messed with as much as she has? You think she would have been completely kicked out of the very show she created? These kinds of things. And I'm not trying to stick up for her in a way because I don't know her, but I do understand how the MK world works and how it is when you're born into that kind of a situation.
And see,
And then,
I don't want to talk to Roseanne about religion. I want to talk to Roseanne about these satanic pedophiles. That's what I want to talk about. She's got intimate knowledge. We don't have to like her religion. We don't have to like her politics. But she has insider knowledge. And for a long time, her and her son Jake have been standing up telling people about Pizzagate
yes,
and these children going missing, and that they were over there having hunting parties and that they eat babies.
and
And for
this
anybody listening to this show that's new, if you don't know that they eat babies, back up a few episodes. We'll explain that too.
and when this started coming out, when she started coming out with this, that's when you start seeing how everything she gets pushed out of everything and ostracized and all these kinds of things. Every little thing she says gets put in one way or the other because she stood up against it, because she is trying. Jesus has given us all the opportunity to be saved. So she believes in Jesus. I don't know her personally. Again, not going into all of that. I just wanted to make that statement because I have met many people who have been born into this, don't know any different, and they're waking up and they need support too. It's very easy to point the finger and say you're one of them when that's all you've known and grown up in, when they need the body of Christ to help them and to hold them and to help them through these things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I and again, I get it. I get it, Clayton. I get it. And I don't trust anybody when it
Listen,
comes to that stuff. But at the same time, that's up to Jesus, not us.
right. I want to talk to her about her knowledge of these children because this whole children thing, it pisses me off. And I'm not going to stop talking about it. Just like IMA in her songs. We are not going to stop talking about it. And I'm going to do my absolute best in this world to never let anybody forget that those Epstein files exist. And that if you don't think that cute little blonde haired 4-year old you saw in Walmart, if you don't think some cartel member don't know that she's worth $70,000 if you kidnap her and take her to the corner 7-Eleven to that box truck and she's gone forever, these people are sick. They are twisted. They are horrible, demonic, parasitic human beings. Anybody who can hurt a child. And every time I see one of those reels or TikToks where they ask those moms, like, could you kill someone for your child? And part of them go, oh, I don't know. Honey, I'm going to kill them. I'm gonna kill him for mine. I'm gonna do it for yours. I'm gonna do it for a stranger's. A child is a child is a child. And if you put your hands on one, I will sit there and watch you slowly suffer. And don't think I wouldn't, because I have absolutely no empathy, no sympathy, or no care for somebody that can willingly and knowledgeably hurt a child.
Amen to that.
That
And
pisses me off.
and
I'm sorry, y'all. It
again,
makes me so mad.
I understand. Trust me. And again, Clayton, I get it. She is probably part of those things, but again, she knows those things, and at least she's talking about it, so we can poke and prod. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't. We're not trying to ruffle any feathers, but we
No, and I don't.
definitely need to talk to people and get things out. It's a thing, and I do believe that there are those who are aware and waking up to what they've been put through. And I get these soul contracts. You know, again, Jesus can come to you at any time. Don't you forget that. When you grow up in these kinds of things, let me explain something to you about SRA. And again, this is not just about Roseanne. This is about anybody who has had to go through this kind of a thing. And when you grow up in a Kabbalistic family, you better bet your butt as a child you are being put through these things. They purposely fracture your brain through torture and horrific things, not just for their adrenochrome purposes, but to put in what they call alters. Those are demons. That's what we call DID now, dissociative identity disorder. And, it used to be called multiple personality disorder. These are things. But guess what? Jesus can deliver you from demons, right? I mean, unless she was born, or anybody I'm speaking of in this is born without a soul and is literally a NPC type of thing, you still have the ability to be redeemed. So I just wanted to put that out there. And this is why we pray for our enemies, right? So that they are struck by the hand of God, so they understand they better darn well repent before it is too late.
We don't know what's going on in the world with anybody until you have a conversation. I got questions. And I ain't trying to offend nobody. I ain't said I believe in the woman's religion. I ain't said that I believe in her politics. I just know she's got insider knowledge and I'd like to pick her brain. I admired her on her television show when I was a child. I wanted to be a Connor for a long time. I thought I could be the best kid they had. And she's been in our lives forever. I got questions. I want to talk about this Charlie Kirk style.
Again, I get it. I get it, Clayton. And I'm not disagreeing, because and again, I don't know where that person is at in their life anymore. And I don't know. I don't know. But questions. Questions.
Questions.
Questions.
It never hurts to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just got somebody text me and he's like, "You don't want to draw her attention." I'm not scared. I
Having
got the blood of Jesus on me. I ain't scared.
having
I got
faith,
Jesus' cell phone
right?
number. What you talking about?
Having to step out on faith means when the Holy Spirit puts something in you, something that you need to step out on faith with, then you are obedient to the Most High, and He's got you. There's always a reason. It's like when the Holy Spirit said, "Go ahead and listen to the Hemisync tapes." Why? Why would you say that to me? Are you sure? There was a purpose for it. It was so when we watched Disclosure Day, we could go, "Oh my gosh, this is all Hemisync." I mean, it was like boom, boom, boom. Walking out on faith is important. No fear. If we gotta face if we got to face some darkness to shed some light, then dang it, that's what we're going to do.
Well, see, and this is another thing I want to bring light to. We're down to 8 visitors. Um, our whole life, our governments, not just the American one, all the ones around the world, doesn't matter who they are, they're all playing the same game. They have done your absolute best to divide you. White and black and brown, white and brown, red and blue, up and down, left and right, straight and gay, trans and non trans, non binary and binary. Every time they create a label, it is not to bring you together. It is not to give you more rights. It is to divide you as a people because a people divided are easier to conquer. If all hell broke loose tomorrow and the world was ending, and you go over to your neighbor's house, but you've been hateful to that neighbor because he's a different color. You've lived here for 10 years, never spoke to the man because you're white and he's black, or you're black and he's white, and them just ain't your people and you ain't spoke to him. When all hell breaks loose, don't go knock on that man's door asking for help, because when you had the opportunity to be kind to him before then, but guess what? When you go knock on whoever's door that is, they may show you kindness that you couldn't give to them in passing down the road. I live in a place where everybody you used to pass on the road threw their hand up and said hello, hey, as you're going by. Nobody here does that anymore. We have been invaded by transplants from other places that don't understand how our southern hospitality worked. Like when people moved into your neighborhood, I don't care if they moved in a $500 trailer or camper. Some lady in the neighborhood went over there and welcomed them and took them what they called a starter kit. Like it had like a little thing of measuring cups and, you know, different little gifts, like a basket full of gifts for the new neighbor. Here's our number. If you need help with your kids, or you got questions about the schools, just call us. People don't do that anymore. And this is where we are losing our nature to each other as a group, as a community. The more we get along, the less control they can have.
I just want to state that we are never to be afraid to shine our light in the darkness. No matter in which way that comes. And again, when the Holy Spirit speaks, I will step in faith. That is no matter how scary it may seem, because I know that Jesus has got my back. When you are in Jesus's frequency, you are in the Word of God. And that is what we got to focus on. And what is that frequency? It's not it does not have hate in it. There is no hate. Even he himself on the cross said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." If he can forgive us all, that's important in all of this. And I've brought this up before. As much anger and awfulness as I have towards all of this evil and all that has been done to children, I still believe There is a chance of deprogramming. There is a chance of letting Jesus handle that before I say I am judge and jury and ending you. Unless we're in the middle of a situation and I have to defend right then and there, right? I'm just saying, like, there is something that Jesus was trying to express to us about what his frequency is, what the most high's word is. And it isn't to perpetuate that evil and that darkness because of your hurt and pain. It is about aligning ourselves with that narrow path, with that narrow frequency that seems so hard to do in this flesh suit. And especially when we're so surrounded by darkness all the time. But we are not to be afraid to shine our light because that is his light. We're just the vessel of it. And if we are scared to go and face these monsters, then we might as well be lukewarm. We might as well be spat out by our Lord and Savior because we're not promoting anything of what God's word is if we are projecting that frequency of hate and judgment when it is not our call. And I'm not sticking up for any of these evil people. It is the demonic inside. And if they are not some NPC soulless clone and they are a natural born soul on this planet, they all deserve a chance to be with Jesus. That is our job, is to bring the lost flock to our shepherd. I'm sorry, I did not mean to get emotional. Shenanigans.
No, you're good. You're good. We're in an hour and 40, Shannon, and I think it's probably time I get off the air. Because if I don't get off this air, I'm gonna say something I probably shouldn't say. So we're gonna leave that at that because I'm trying to lead with compassion and understanding. Every sinner has a future. Every saint has a past. Jesus did not pick his people by white collared bankers. They were hookers. They were drunks. They were thieves. They were wanderers. The people with a past that have scraped their knee and have been through some crap, they've had a blessing from the lessons that they had. The blessing from the lesson, because everything in life is a lesson or a blessing. But if you look at it right, you can make it both. If you get a lesson, if you scrape your knee and you take a lesson from that of how not to do that again, that is wisdom. Lessons are blessings. Blessings are the gift of wisdom and knowledge that came from falling and scraping your knee. You know not to hit them front brakes on that bicycle next time. We must lead with compassion, empathy for our fellow man and woman. We need to learn that everybody is entitled to their own opinion. We don't all have to feel the same way about the same things. We have been put here. And when Jesus walked this earth, he said, "Don't follow me." He said, "Be like me." Show your fellow man love. And if you don't understand how Jesus showed love to individuals, go read the story about the woman at the well. The woman who had been divorced and left 5 times. She walked to the well by herself because the other women talked so much trash about her. She would go in the heat of the day by herself, which was dangerous. And a woman of that didn't do that back then. And Jesus sees her at the well. And after he meets this woman, Jesus changes the guidelines on what the constitution of divorce is in the Bible. Everybody's got a past. Honey, mine has been checkerboarded in all different colors. I started raising hell on this earth as soon as I could run real fast. And I ain't never slowed down. Daniel will tell you that. From the time I was 10, 11 years old, I was driving cars, wide open, doing crazy stuff, doing things I should never been doing as a teenager. I done a lot of things as an adult I should have never done as an adult. And I've asked for forgiveness for that. And I didn't say, please forgive me for all of my sins. That is not how you ask for forgiveness. That is not repentance. So if you can't go to our Father in heaven and say, please forgive me for blah, 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 whatever your list is. If you cannot become accountable to yourself and take your fault in the actions of how something happened, you have not repented. You can't say, please forgive me for doing this, or divorce has taught me this. Ended relationships have taught me this. There are two sides to every seesaw, folks. That seesaw don't go up unless somebody's on the other side knocking it down. But you got to be able to switch sides of that seesaw. Why did this person react that way? Because you acted that way. There is an action and a reaction. You were told that as a child in science. Every action has a reaction. You don't have to react. Don't let people rage bait you into being a bad person. Leave 10 minutes earlier so you don't have to lay down on the horn and flip people off in traffic and let them get your blood pressure up. That lies within you, within yourself, within the spirit and the light that you have been given. Your soul should lead, not your mind, not your body, not whatever that is. Your spirit, your compassion for another spirit should be what leads you. Because these things are nothing but meat suit avatars that we're riding around in. Like I said, this is just a Ferrari. Some of us, the mileage is high. Things are leaking. Brakes are squeaking. I mean, things happen after you drive a car a while. You got to do maintenance or she breaks down. But what's inside of this vehicle you're driving is a soul, a divine soul and light that was given to you by our Father in heaven. It was not given to you to come down here and act like some of us act. And I've acted bad. Don't get me wrong. I ain't even gonna lie. I had me a petty moment the other day. I set some stuff on fire. Like, whoo! Tired of looking at it. I'm gonna clean this out and I'm gonna set it on fire. And I was in. Not that I was petty to anybody, but it was with petty intention that I did it, and that was wrong. But you got to be able to go to the big man upstairs and say, "Hey, I want forgiveness because I did so and so to such and such person, and I need to take accountability." But if you want them people to go, "Ain't my fault, ain't my fault," if you wanted them ain't my fault people, you have never truly repented to your Father in heaven. Because you got to be able to bear yourself down to the bone, get on your knees, and be honest with that man about every horrible, horrific thing you have ever done to another person, to another soul, or to this world intentionally. Everything is about intention, folks. I didn't mean to get on a preaching rant here tonight, but I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to teach. I'm just trying to keep our community of support together
That
because there are a lot of people out there that have nobody. And I hope that our show is a place that people can come to and we can all be friendly and we can all get along and we can all be grown ups. We don't have to be vulgar. We don't have to, we don't have to do a lot of cussing. Puff, puff, pass. We trying to have a good time here in our smoke circle. Love one another, folks. We don't know if this place is going to end tomorrow or 1,000 years from now. And it don't matter. All you got to focus on is the next 5 minutes. And then there's 5 more minutes, and there's 5 more minutes, and there's 5 more minutes. Love one another. It's not that hard. It's just not that hard, folks.
just think of the lyrics, the very beginning lyrics of Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was blind, and now I see. These are things that That's why we're here, guys. We're here to spread the light of Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and to open up eyes so all the wretches that we've all been have a chance to be saved by the word of God. Gosh, I now it's my turn to cry. Thanks, Roxy. Just
You're
brought
welcome. It's
it
contagious. It's
all.
contagious, folks. I'm telling you, I've been a mental midget for 3 days. I don't know if it was just human resonance or possible menopause. I don't know how menopause is kicked in when I had a hysterectomy 20 years ago. I don't know, but it's been a crazy 3 days. And it's really hot here in the South. Like it's 96 degrees and the humidity is so bad you could cut it with a butter knife. And I know, Biggie, you ain't heard me say everywhere. Everywhere is humid like that in the South. Everywhere.
You know, I, I'm just gonna say up front, I'm not apologizing for being an extreme empath. I can't help it on that level, but I am going to apologize for being a blubbering fool in front of everyone about it.
Nobody,
So
wait a minute.
we're
Wait. Slow it up. Hold on a
so,
minute.
you know,
Hold on. Here we go. This is why I was trying to get off the air because I know this is where this is going to go. But we here now. So by all means, here we go.
oh, no.
Nobody said I was giving anybody a pass on anything. So please don't ever say I did that. I will never, ever say I will give a pass to anybody. I don't know truly what anybody has done, but I would like to have a conversation. And if me having a conversation with somebody who has revolved in that life, that uh occupation, that world, I'm sorry. Don't watch that episode. But please don't ever say that I'm giving any one of those people a pass.
Oh, no. 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 And look, that is one other thing that I'm trying to explain. I'm not. There is no. It's never okay to ever touch a child or do any of the evil things they or whatever if they've made their choice to choose who what master they have chosen, then that's their choice. That's their choice, and I am not in any way a part of that. And they deserve the wrath of God. All I'm saying is it my place
It's not my place to
to
judge.
do that?
I'm not here to judge you, but I can surely help make the arrangements for it.
Right.
The
And
only person that can judge you is the good Lord upstairs. But if we need to arrange the meeting because you touched a kid, I would be more than happy to. I will spend the rest of my life behind bars if I found out somebody had harmed a child and I could make it happen. I'm not.
all
I'm
right,
not tolerating. Mm,
they deserve to be in prison forever and ever and ever in the depths of darkness where Jesus can work on them one on one, where they're hidden from us forever. That's how I feel about it. Like, you go into the darkness, you go. That's what you want to be. But I don't
yeah,
know.
you lady.
Hmm?
Nothing. Nothing. Betty was trying to talk. We're not gonna let Betty talk tonight. Betty's not talking. Betty's not talking. Be cool, Betty. Be cool, Betty. Anyway, you fantastic people. We love you so much. Roxy and Shannon 2028. We love Big E. Big E, I love you. One of these days, boo boo, I'm gonna drive to that side of the state and come find you. And I'm gonna get me a Big E hug. Um, like again, Roxy and Shannon 2028. We're sorry if we upset anybody. That was not our intent. But we're gonna have people on this show. You may like some, you may not. But I'm gonna have a conversation with them.
It's
I'd sit down right now and have a conversation with half the people that we want strung up in guillotines. I'd love to question them.
dude, the questions.
Hell, I'd like to have a conversation with Big Mike. Like, let's go to lunch, Big Mike. Now, whether I take the bottle of whatever we was drinking and crack Big Mike in the noggin when I'm done, I might. Good possibility. Ain't nobody said I wouldn't, because, you know, I ain't all right, but I ain't all wrong neither.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And again,
See, I got,
I
and
mean,
you're right, Tina. I got a hitch on the back of my truck. Wood chippers are portable. Like we can go on the road with this show. I'm, like I said, not trying to piss anybody off. There's gonna be guests on here. You may like them, you may not. If you don't, I'm sorry. But we gonna have conversations with people. Um, gonna be lots of conversations. We gonna have a lot of squirrel conversations and ADD and everything else on here. But we always gonna love you because we love everybody. I can love everybody. Some of them I got to love from all the way over yonder, but I'ma love them because it ain't my job to judge them. But I can't help arrange the meeting. Everybody have a wonderful Tuesday evening. We will be back Thursday night, approximately 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Western time on the West Coast with the Big Shannon there. We will be back for Children of the Most High Thursday night. Don't know what our topic will be, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. So make sure you roll you a brand new one, and after this show, you go outside and you burn that bad boy down and calm your nerves. If I have ruffled your feathered or anything, I apologize. I love you all. Have a good evening. Good night.